What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Moving to Florida show. This is Judson, joined today by Mohit and Yaya, talking about all kinds of randomness, it sounds like.
One of those episodes, huh?
That's right. What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Yaya, I want to thank you again for joining us, man. You're becoming a regular part. I think we are going to have to give you that co-host title.
Whoa! Right? Wow, that is wow. Big things are happening in this group, man. The big things are happening.
He has to get initiated, though. He has to get initiated.
Oh wow! I don't know what kind of weird.
Yeah, man. Well, folks, we aren't here to talk about us. We're here to talk about you moving to Florida, and we figured, I mentioned it already, randomness. We all just brought a couple of topics, a couple of fun things we've seen over the last couple of weeks in regards to Florida, and figure we just dive in. So it'll be a little bit of a surprise because who knows if we all brought the same thing or if we got different stuff to talk about. Anyone want to volunteer to go first, or should I jump in?
Go ahead, jump in, bro.
Yeah, jump right in, man.
You know what? So this caught my eye the other day. The Evermore Resort in Orlando. I just threw a link up in the chat if you guys want to check it out. And for you listeners, I'll be sure that we share links in our show notes as well. Evermore Resort in Orlando is scheduled to open by end of this year. 8-acre bay or 8-acre lagoon, Clearwater Lagoon, right here in Orlando. Kind of exciting.
Wow,
acres of beach.
Yeah. Both of these guys are checking out the article now.
It's
Mo
cool.
and I visited one of these on behalf of a listener and client a year ago. Mo, how long ago was that?
I would say about a year ago.
We had to drive over to the Tampa area and view this 5-acre lagoon. It's basically like a giant swimming pool, right? But it's got a beach. So we have one opening in Orlando, being the tourist capital here. This one, of course, is tourist focused, so it's a resort. You can book a hotel room there. You can go stay there. 8 acres of water. So it's an 8-acre swimming pool, effectively. But the total area of beach and everything is, as Mo said, 20 acres. Looks pretty awesome, right?
Oh, man, this is
it's reminding me. There's something similar, isn't it? It's called Epperson Lagoon, I think. I've heard that name.
Epperson
so this
Lagoon
is like
the one. Correct.
Bigger luxury version of that?
This is even bigger than Epperson, I believe, yes. Yeah, so we have a lot of these scheduled to open across Florida in the coming years, but I didn't know that we had one in Orlando that was getting this close. We knew we had some coming, but this is scheduled. They are taking reservations now for the holiday season 2023. They are expected to be open by the end of this year.
Oh, wow.
And I'll share that website, guys, if you didn't go look in our notes. Just evermoreresort.com. You can view it and you can check it out. Really cool photos. Of course, I'm sure some of these are, they're kind of images of what it's expected to look like. But I mean, you can see like the big resort hotel all the way around and just beautiful tropical beach. They've got like rope swings, beach volleyball, obstacle courses on the water, just all kinds of cool stuff, man. I'm looking forward to visiting this place. I hope they have day passes. That's all I'm going to say. I hope they have day passes because I definitely want to go check it out.
That would be so awesome.
Dude,
even just
in
staying
Orlando,
there for one night
bro.
or 2 nights.
Yeah.
For a weekend. For like a quick in-home weekend getaway.
No sharks.
That's right.
No sharks.
Yeah, we call that a staycation.
I mean, I'm just thinking, man, this is a great place to go and work, bro. It's a hotel, I'm pretty sure they got like a nice office room. You're done in the evening. You go out there, hang by the nice little shark-free beach.
I wouldn't go in the office room. I'd be hanging out at the beach with my laptop.
Dude, you know what's funny about that? So now they have extended screens for laptops where you can extend your laptop screens, like adding 3 little screens or 2 little screens.
Yep, I saw that. Yeah.
I was thinking about that, and Judson just gave me that idea. I'm like, man, I can just be right there on that lagoon chilling with my 3 screens and working.
Take a call.
I'll be like so stress-free, man. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I think people are going to love talking to me then. We got to make this happen.
It'll be a separate podcast for that one.
There we go. Hey, for sure. You know what? We'll bring it live from the beach, from the lagoon.
Like,
all right. Who else has got something?
You hear Mo snoring on the side. Like, Mo fall asleep in the middle of the show. Yeah.
Judson, that was a cool share, bro. Thank you, man. Like, I'm literally about to send this to my wife right now. I'm like, man, we got to go here.
I literally copied and pasted it and sent it to my family.
Yeah, you see, I didn't want to grab my phone because my mic is sensitive. I'm like, it's going to hear like click, 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 click. It's going to be very bad in the background. So I'm just going to wait. But this is really nice, man. Like in Orlando, that's so cool because when you have younger kids, like really tiny kids, it's they apparently don't let you go past like a certain amount of time. 40 minutes. All right, cut the ride off, man. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
All right.
So what you got, bro? You got something interesting here?
Well, I just wanted to do something fun. I was like, we don't talk about our retirees too much. So I wanted to just run through some of the best retirement communities of Florida in 2023.
Ooh,
now,
that's
some
nice.
of them you guys might know, some you might not know. So there's I'm going to run through a few of them. Villages of Citrus Hill. It's located just an hour away from the Villages of Citrus. It's called the Villages of Citrus Hill. It's a retirement community with single-family homes. It's maintenance-free villas. They have been built with today's demanding baby boomers in mind and whatnot. But it's a Florida retirement community. Right outside of the Villages, an hour outside of the Villages.
So yeah, so it's not officially part of the Villages.
It's not
still
part
got
of
the Villages
Villages
in the name.
Yeah, it's called Villages of Citrus Hill.
Okay.
And then there's another one. This one I haven't heard about, but I don't know if you guys have. It's called On Top of the World. And
Yeah, up in Ocala.
Bold
up
name.
in Ocala, yeah, it's on top of the world. You can, it's different, suites of taste and packages of people that can go in. 54 holes of golf communities, 3 courses, indoor outdoor swimming, tennis courts, pools, private RC, flying fields, racquetball, basketball, and all that stuff.
Do they have an 8-acre Crystal Lagoon?
They don't. They don't have an 8-acre Crystal Lagoon, but this is only restricted to 55 and up people.
You know what? I'm sure there's one in progress. Maybe that's something we need to check out. Is there a 55 plus community with a Crystal Lagoon coming somewhere in Florida? I bet there is.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure they are. Then you have Valencia Trails, which is in Naples, Florida. It's a 42,000 square foot clubhouse over there. They have clubs, entertainment. And obviously all the relaxation stuff like the pool and whatnot. So it's like contemporary style living, single family homes. Then you have Valencia Walk at Riverland. Now that's another 55 and up community in Port St. Lucie. Now here's a fun fact. That's my second topic, but I could mix it in. So Port St. Lucie isn't really a port. I just found that out. There's no ports in Port St. Lucie.
No ports. Interesting.
This is another famous. It's by like GL Homes builds over at Valencia Walk at Riverland. Another 55 plus neighborhood. Home starting around 400,000 on up. I'm sure it's a lot more than that now. And then you have Valencia Grand, which is in Boynton Beach. It's another 55 and up neighborhood. And then you know what? I know, but the homes over there are 900,000 on up starting from. So it's like more of a luxury 55 and up neighborhood. There's a couple of Margaritavilles on this list too. The Latitude Margaritaville in Daytona Beach, and then you have the other one. It's called Latitude Margaritaville in Water Sound, and that's in Pensacola and the Panama City area. So Margaritaville, there's Jimmy Buffett has a couple of places for 55 and up neighborhoods.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, because we have a Margaritaville just down the road here, but it's all ages.
It's all ages. I think ours is more of a resort style, not resort style, but not just resort style, but
well, they've got a hotel at the front of it.
Yeah, hotel and stuff there. So this one, I don't think they have hotels there, but I know it's geared toward the 55 and up.
Interesting. You know what? I think I just assumed all of the Margaritavilles are short-term rental type communities, but again, maybe that's just because we're here in Orlando.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why ours is the short-term rental.
Yep. It doesn't say if it's short-term rental. But I have all the links to it. I'll put it in our chat right here. And then obviously we have the Villages, which is just an hour north of Orlando, which is 2,000 homes. They usually sell about 2,000 homes per year over there.
Right. I was going to say, guys, if you don't know what the Villages is, just throw the Villages, Florida into Google. It's wild up there.
It's wild. You'll learn everything about it. Homes actually are pretty decently priced. It start at 300,000 on up.
Yeah. So the Village, how many homes are actually in the Villages? It's like 100,000 homes. I think
Dude,
it's
maybe
like
100,000 homes.
They're like their own city, bro. Like it's like their own
they
place
have
in
their
there.
own municipality, and they have their own government and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's about
Yeah.
130,000 residents right now.
Whoa. Dude,
Yeah.
so my shock was when I never knew what the villages were. I used to sell cars a long time ago, and I had to deliver a car there to somebody, like drive it to the villages, drop it off, and come back. So I'm going there, and just like you said, I got to the entrance, and I'm like, what the hell is this place? Like it does not look. I've never seen something so huge.
It's a city inside of a city.
I could not tell if it was a little, housing area or like a certain neighborhood. You have to go like this garden. You go in there, and they have their own clubhouse and all these different things. And I was blown away, man. Like it's quite impressive though how they've maintained that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very interesting to see that.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And then you have Venetian Bay, which is in New Smyrna Beach. It's Geosam Capital Development is a developer out there. World-class resort-style amenities. 18 holes of championship golf course. So you can spend the day with your family at the beach or the swim club that they have over there. World-class spas. And homes over there starting at $300,000 all the way up to $1 million. And then I'm sure you guys have heard of this Lakewood Ranch. We were talking about Lakewood Ranch a while back in one of our previous episodes, which is in Sarasota. It's the number one selling multi-generational master plan community in the county. Homes over there starting at around $400,000 on up.
Yeah, so I think. I think Lakewood Ranch. I think they have sections of it that are 55 plus because it's overall not just like it said multi-generational. So
it's
go ahead.
multi-generational. Yeah, and then you have the same thing, which is we talked about. We actually had somebody from Babcock Ranch on our episode. So the Babcock Ranch is one of the. It's also located in Southwest Florida, and it's designed to help residents live their happiest and healthiest life. It's about 18,000 square foot of extensive wilderness preserve. Babcock Ranch features hiking and biking paths, greenways, and perfectly set up for outdoor adventures. Cool, huh? And I think we did talk to somebody about. I think we did have a guest from Babcock Ranch.
We did, absolutely. Back in the days when we were a little bit newer show, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have Tradition, which is a master plan community in Port St. Lucie,
which does not have
a port.
No, which is not a port. They have like certain developers that focus on 55 and up communities. You have your Del Webb, which is one of the largest developers, which is owned by Pulte as well, and they build a lot of 55 and up neighborhoods. And then you have other builders like D.R. Horton creating 55 and up neighborhoods in the area. I think Mattamy has its own. Taylor Morrison has the Esplanade. That's where my parents are in. They have the Esplanade communities all over Florida as well. So Taylor Morrison does offer a lot of 55 and up neighborhoods. So there's a ton of 55 and up neighborhoods. I think the one that's closest to us is Solavita too. Solavita is in Kissimmee. Solavita is another 55
big
and
community.
Up neighborhood. Yeah, really big community.
Yep.
Again, homes over there start out at over 100 or 200,000. So I mean, I guess it's one of the more affordable communities to go into.
Yeah, comparatively, Solavita is pretty fairly priced. I tell you, every time I go into these 55 plus communities, especially you start walking around the clubhouse and the pools and everything, I'm like, I got a few more years, but I'm going to live in one of these communities. They're nice. They're very nice.
It's a very different vibe up there, bro. It's like you feel so relaxed, man. Like every time you meet clients in those communities, they're so chill. They're like having wine in the middle of the day. They're just relaxing, and the demeanor, the conversation. I'm like, man, I wish I could have this kind of day, like talking to people, talking to clients, your team, but it doesn't really work out like that for some reason.
No, it really doesn't. So.
Well, listeners, we want to hear from you. Are the 55 plus communities? We've never done an episode specifically on that. If that's something you want to hear about, maybe we can have some people that specialize in those communities come on and talk to us about, what the lifestyle's like and all of that. If that's something you guys want to hear about, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great idea.
All right, that was one of my topics.
All right, next topic, Mr. Yahya Chotani is going to bring us the fire.
Yeah, it's interesting, Mohit. You got me in an interesting flow here. So I was going to talk about something similar to retirement, but not retirement homes. And you starting with yours is like a perfect setup. So I was going to talk about this because recently
I was setting that up. I was segueing you in.
you're saying without knowing what I'm talking about. So I love when this happens, by the way. So it was interesting. So last couple of days, I've been having a lot of young borrowers, I'm working with, and a lot of people these days do not have a retirement plan or a way to plan their retirement.
What's
And it's quite interesting, man, because you think about these retirement places and you're like, oh man, some of these nice places are like $900,000, and if I'm going to retire, what income am I going to live on, and how do I build that? And I think it's a lot of the mindset. And one of my mentors used to ask this question: would you rather have $100,000 right now or a penny that doubles every day for a month?
Okay.
And the interesting thing is, most people will say, give me the 100,000 right now. It's a penny, right? What is it going to do? Now, everybody knows Einstein talks about compound interest as the eighth wonder of the world, right? We all know that.
Yep.
But how to put that into principle, man? So let's say you take $100,000 right now, you cash it, you're good. But you take a penny now, on the other hand, you double it every single day. Okay, so let's do the math. It's going to be really quick. I'm not going to stop at every single one of them. So week one, day one, you're at 1 penny. Day two goes to 4, 6, 8, all the way to day 7, you're at 64 cents. Now, a week later, following the same principle, it's $81. Now, the following week, after compounding, it goes to $10,000. Now, something magical happens from 10,000 in the next couple of days. So week number 4, we start at 20,000. By the end of the week, we're at $1.3 million.
Oh, wow.
1.3 million. So you went from 1 penny. Now, let's go a little further. It's a 28-day month, or 29 days, sorry. So now we're at 2.6 million. Day 30, it's at 5.3. Now, if it's that 131-day month, man, it's at $10 million. Now, the crazy thing about this is you're talking about retirement, right? And a lot of us, when you're young, nobody really talks about, hey, how should you invest? Like, what's the rule you would use to invest your money? Because if you think about it, that last double that you got from 2 million to 4 to 10 million, that's a double you want to get in your investment, right? So a lot of times when investors and all these people are using all these, fancy things like, oh yeah, what's my rate of return? What's my capital gains or whatever? You want to have some math. So I wanted to share a really quick and easy thing with everyone today. It's called the rule of 72. You guys know what it is?
I've heard it. Yeah.
You've heard it?
Yeah,
But
that's where I am.
I've
I've heard that.
you heard
I'm not
that. So
sure.
it's a pretty simple trick. So let's say you got an investment that's going to give you a rate of return of 9%. You take 72 and divide that by that number. So 72 divided by 9 will give you about 8. So that's 8 years you could double your investment. So the trick is, when you're young and not really smart, spending money on stupid things, if you try to invest in things and look at the percentage, like, okay, how soon can I double this investment? And use that principle, by the time you get to retirement, you're going to have a lot of investments doubling. And from the point they've doubled with compounded growth, if you start at 20 years old, man, and you buy your first property as an example, right? Let's say it appreciates at 5%. You divide that by 72. It's 14 years roughly, right?
Yeah.
So in 14 years, that property doubles. From that point on, the appreciation is going to be intense. But between that, if you bought a couple of homes or whatever, investment it is, I think it's a great way to kind of get people to think a little more about a basic, easy strategy to use towards investments. Like, okay, what kind of rate of return am I looking for? Is it worth my money? How soon can I double it? What do you guys think?
Nice. Very
Have
nice.
a little bit of silence in the room.
It's like the eighth wonder of the world. So
like,
what I heard there was don't wait to buy real estate and wait.
Yep, no, you're right. And not even just real estate, man. It could be anything. It could be, you could buy gold, you could buy oil, you can invest in annuities, whatever it is. But I just think that today, it just scares me a little that not a lot of people invest into their future, and
Right.
with the way the governments are.
I think a lot of it has to do with fear too, saying, hey, if I invest X amount of dollars and something happens, it goes belly up. Like we just found out, a whole bank went belly up.
No, you're right. And you know what's crazy about that bank, man? So if you think about that, what happened to that bank, it's very similar to what happened to toilet paper in 2020. It's same principle.
You're not wrong.
And the funny thing is, I was trying to find
Explain.
a simple way to explain this, right? Because if I'm going to be like, oh yeah, this bank was, illiquid or it was insolvent for the past, if you talk about that, people are like, I don't want to hear that. But in 2020, everybody thought there was a shortage of toilet paper. There was no shortage. Everybody just went to buy the same thing, caused a snowball effect, people bought way more than they needed. But and somebody did some math. They said if you take one roll, you can use it over 10,000 times. And if you divide that in daily activity, you're going to have to use the bathroom like 8 times or 11 times, some ridiculous number. So you don't need that much toilet paper. But people went because there was fear in the market, they bought it up.
Yep.
Same thing with the bank. The bank, because there's money that's tight right now, right? A lot of people are forced to pull out their own cash to make investments. So if investors in Silicon Valley area, the way people are using that bank, take that money out in big amounts. We use fractional lending in this country. So 10% of the money is in the bank, the rest is investment. It's all out there, right? So if you come in, take all that money out, the bank has no money left, right? We're drawing
a bank run.
You're literally doing that. Plus, the other thing is this bank, particularly in their history, if you look at the last 6 months, 5-6 months, they made some bad investment decisions. They were losing a lot of money,
right? They didn't have a risk manager. For 8 months, they didn't have a risk manager.
But just
there
think
was
about
nobody
it.
looking on
risky.
all the risks they were taking.
So what's scary is when they do investments, when you buy government vehicles, I think government bonds or something, you don't have to report unrealized losses. Because of a act called Dodd-Frank, you don't have to report them. So they were negative by $3 billion in those investments, and they didn't have to report them, so they didn't. So it was not reported. So it kind of slipped by. But, try to go back to the COVID thing. Yeah, that's literally toilet paper, man. People bought it up. Everybody got their money out. Now the banks left there. It's like, okay, what do I do? Of course, nothing.
Yeah, they invested a whole bunch in bonds, which banks normally do.
Yeah, but this was like terrible bonds. It was like low yield bonds. They were not making any money.
It's like low yield bonds and long-term investment bonds. And as soon as the Feds raised the interest rates, those bonds became worthless.
Yeah, they got crushed. And speaking of bonds, guys, this is a terrible day, man. Yesterday was a really good day because we had a lot of recovery in the bond market. So rates got really, really nice. I was able to lock somebody with 2.5 points at 5.5% rate yesterday because rates got so good. I was so proud of myself, man. I was like, yes, save people money. But now it looks
Back
like
up.
there's dark clouds up there. So we may see something slightly worse.
You know what the crazy part is? We never used to pay attention to interest rates as much as we've looked at interest rates in the past year, especially in the last 6 months, especially mortgage interest rates.
They've become a much larger factor. I mean,
It's become a large factor. Yeah, not only has it become a large factor, it's fluctuating on a daily basis, whereas usual it's a quarterly type of thing where it fluctuates in a quarter. It wouldn't fluctuate so much on a daily basis where it is now. I mean, every day there's like it goes up a point, it goes down a point, it goes up a point, it goes down a point. That's a lot of I guess movement going on in the market.
And Judson's right, man. You see, at this point, it's all about saving people, literally saving people, because if you don't lock people's rates now properly, don't advise them correctly, it ends up costing them the entire house because now you're suddenly unqualified. And, I had these issues last week. It was really stressful. It's like, okay, if I wait, potentially you could save $800,
Right.
potentially. But if you lose this house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, do I spend the $800? Like, sure, spend it. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's really that. You have to really have people around you, I think, that are looking at this every day. Because, man, you're right. It's a full point. Last Friday, we saw a full point drop. Yesterday, the full point went back up. Today, it's like at a midpoint, but it's at an over kind of bought territory. So it seems like we're going to see something not great, but
Yep. So hopefully things start stabilizing sometime soon. But with these banks going belly up, it's kind of
Hopefully that whole thing gets stopped. They took
hope-
quick
yeah,
action there to try to
exactly.
get that shut down.
One-
Hey, I've got another topic. I just shared
What's
it
up?
in the chat here, guys.
USA Today.
Yeah, a USA Today article dated March 3rd. New Yorkers are the number one movers to Florida. So, yeah, I mean, they look back at census data and said nearly 65,000 New Yorkers traded in their state driver's license for Florida driver's license in 2022.
Good for
That
them.
was data from Florida's Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Wasn't too many less in 2021, 62,000 in 2021. A lot of a lot of New Yorkers becoming Floridian.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Just, I know there's multiple reasons why people from New York move down here, but
That's the stuff we talk about all
just
the time.
why
here,
just
right?
New York? Why not just New Jersey? Why
Yeah.
can't
Well,
be
you know
New
what? I'm sure
Jersey
that
or
is.
Illinois?
I'm sure that is a big number too, and I don't have that data here, but I'm sure that New Jersey is also a big one. I think we talked about that on the census data a little while back, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We went through the whole census. It was last 2 weeks ago's episode.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Or
You're
something
right. Yeah, that's
2
the
weeks
one,
ago
man.
episode, Yeah. Yeah.
Look, now I'm hunting for census data.
But I mean, it was something you said though. I think it was Justin. You brought this up, and you were right, man. Like it. I think you were saying that it's the income tax, it's the cost of living. Plus, if you're in New Jersey, cost of living in New York comparatively is like at least 30-40% less. So you're just driving 45 minutes. But there's no other place around New York that is priced reasonably enough. And a lot of people are now working remote too. Remember, I think you talked about that. So I think that really is extremely motivating, man. Plus the beaches, warm weather.
Yeah. Warmer weather, more affordable housing, lower taxes, more freedom. It's all of those.
And I am reading the article, and you got people in New York putting out ads saying, "Hey, don't go to Florida, stay here. Stop going to Florida, stay here, folks. We need your taxes."
Yeah.
They're making ads, denouncing some of our laws here in Florida, but at the same time, they're like, "Well, we kind of need your taxes to run the state, so please stay here and don't go."
Right. Yeah. Well, that's marketing, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're putting out ads and billboards out in New York and in Florida saying, "New Yorkers, come back, come back."
Right.
That's
yep.
too funny.
Absolutely. All right.
That's
what else
too
do we
funny.
have, gentlemen?
All right. I have some 50 fun facts, but I'm not going to go through all 50 facts. But there are 50 weird, fun, cool, interesting facts about Florida. Some of the things that we all might know, and some of the things that we may not know. I was going through this list, and I was like, okay, there's some items that I already know.
Is it that we have a town called Yeehaw Junction?
We have a town called Yeehaw Junction, which is really weird. That would go under the weird facts. I just want to go through a few that I thought it was pretty fun and weird.
Let's hear 'em.
Suntan lotion was invented in Miami.
Makes sense. Okay.
I was like, okay, that I understand why they say it's suntan. Does anyone over here know what Florida means? Florida actually means.
Nope.
You know what? I knew this once upon a time, but no, it has escaped me.
It's a land of flowers in Spanish.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
There are no dinosaur fossils in Florida. Weird. They didn't find any dinosaur
makes me feel
fossils in Florida. All right. Florida was the third state to join the Civil War and is the 27th state in the Union. I'm sure some of this is and there's a thing called a mullet toss. Do you guys know what this is? Mullet toss.
It does not sound.
This is somewhere up around Floribama, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a
this
Florida
happens.
Bama line thing, and a mullet is actually a fish and a hairstyle, but they actually take this dead fish and throw it over the line. From Florida to
like,
Alabama.
Yeah, Floribama Beach Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was the craziest thing ever. I was like, what? People throw just dead fish to Alabama? So I guess it's part of their, like you said, it's Olympics. It's the weirdest thing.
That is very strange, man. Just standing up there, you see people just picking up dead fish. Oh, man.
70% of U.S. oranges come from Florida. 70%
Wow.
of that is from Florida. Yep. Let's see here. What else is there? Muhammad Ali rose to prominence after a February fight in Miami. So there was I guess he became really famous after his fight over here. Florida's population is over 21 million. Let's see here. Did you guys know Cape Canaveral is owned by the U.S. Air Force?
Well, no.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Hey, they've been, we don't have this as an official article, but they've been trying to launch the first 3D printed rocket from Cape Canaveral.
Whoa, that would be so cool.
They've already, I know they hit 2 delays. It was supposed to happen last week, and they had to stand down twice. It did not happen I'm not sure the reasons.
Is it NASA or a private company?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that and see who's doing that.
It's got to be a private company. NASA,
probably
I mean, come on.
Did you know Florida has its own local myth called the skunk ape?
Yep.
Don't know what that is. A skunk ape?
It's Florida's chupacabra.
It's Florida's chupacabra. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, a skunk ape. Lake Okeechobee is Florida's largest freshwater lake. And let's see here. What else is
And
here?
It is massive, by the way. If you've never seen Lake
massive
Okeechobee, you cannot see across it. It's huge.
One of Florida's most popular landmark is an old telephone booth.
Why? I think we need to expound on that one. We are running short on time, but
It's Carabelle's police station has grown over the years, but the town's memorable landmark is still around. It's the original telephone booth. Police station is on display at City Hall and can be visited. There you go.
all right.
It's a weird fact. All right, those are some weird, cool, fun facts about Florida.
All right. What do we have up next?
What you got, Yaya?
Hey, so you know what, man? So I wanted to actually take a moment here from all of us and thank our veterans, man.
There you go.
And this has been very interesting because last couple of days I've almost taken the reins on VA loans for some reason. But I'll tell you, it's been an amazing experience, man. And I think, a lot of times we don't really get a chance to thank our vets. Yeah, we have Veterans Day, but I think I speak for all of us here that, it's been a pleasure working with all our veterans in any capacity I have. And I've learned a lot of amazing things, heard all these stories. So I just want to say thank you for everything you guys have all collectively done for this country and helped it get to where it is. And, just on the channel here, just to share some of these stories I heard, man, you feel honored. It's almost as if I should be paying the veterans for giving this opportunity because it's really cool. You get to work with some amazing people that have been through some very, I would say, challenging life experiences. And all that was there was a determination to, your loyalty and patriotism to your country. But for us to be able to serve you, it's an honor. Plus listening to all those, like I said, cool stories and learning about what happened. And one veteran recently I worked with actually told me that they knew Muhammad Ali, which was very cool, man. It's my hero. Cool. I'm like, dude, that's so awesome. I hear these fun things. Cool. So yeah, just wanted to say that, man. We appreciate you all.
Thanks to our men.
Absolutely.
Our troops, our veterans, all of them.
Absolutely. Hey, yeah. Speaking of, when you first came on the show, you were talking about the Hometown Heroes program. Is that still going on? Is there still funding
right
for
now
that?
it is still running strong, man.
And my understanding is veterans can, automatically get involved in that. And if they're using their VA loan, they've got 100% financing already.
Exactly.
So this could basically cover up to 5% of their purchase or really their closing costs, right?
Dude, well said. So what's funny on this particular thing right now with veterans is there's two things. So you have Hometown Heroes, yes, which you can basically do exactly what you said, get the closing costs paid. But the rate for that is, kind of controlled by Florida Housing. So they have the rate set. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because recently what I saw was there are some veterans with very good credit, excellent credit. And some sellers are motivated to, give them back some concessions. And when we looked at a permanent buy down, some veterans were saying that, I'd rather pay my closing costs, get some concessions from the seller, and get in let's give you an example. In a 8%, high, mid 7% range, if I can get a 5.5% rate or anything less than 6 with the seller buying it down, I'm okay with paying my closing costs. And the other fact is because Hometown Heroes, and most people don't talk about this, I just like to say it out first so people know, it is not a forgivable loan. It is a non-amortizing loan. So at the end of your term, you still have to pay it back. So it's important to know whether if you really need that money, obviously, please go ahead and use that to buy your house. But if you don't need to, it's not going to be forgiven. So if you sell the house at any point or, you refinance it or you try to change the terms of your loan, it's going to have to be paid.
It's still floating around back there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hey, this is a question that you probably can answer. If I got this loan and I decided to refi my house, does that loan still stick, or do I have to pay?
You got to pay it.
It becomes payable.
It becomes due as soon as I refi it. Even if I refi it with the same bank.
Yeah, because the thing is now you're changing it. You're closing out that loan, so now you're going to start a new one.
But I want a better interest rate.
Well, then do something that some cool people do. Make more principal payments, get more equity in there, and pay it off.
Do some maneuvering, some ninja moves.
Plus, you'll also save the interest you're paying on that house anyway.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to add?
We got a couple. We have just a couple more minutes. I've got one more topic. I do have one more topic.
Cool.
I found an article from travelinglifestyle.net. This is from December of 2022, but it's the 13 best beaches in the U.S. to visit in the spring of 2023. So pretty much where we are right now. Cool. We're right at the beginning of spring. Of the 13 top beaches in the U.S., how many spots do you think Florida got?
I want to say
we're on the list.
8 spots.
You're bullish, very bullish. Okay. Yaya?
What you got, Yaya?
Ooh, how many? I would say 4.
4. You're if this was Price is Right, you win. It was 5.
Right on the money. I doubled it.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty good. All right, and not just that, we took the top 3 spots too.
Wow.
All right, Siesta Key Beach, number 1 spot mentioned. I've never actually been to Siesta Key, but man, looking at the pictures, this is just off of Sarasota. Looking at the pictures, it does look beautiful. Looks like a very beautiful beach. Have you guys been to Siesta Key?
I have not, but I'm looking it up right now. It looks amazing.
All right,
I've been to Sarasota a couple of times.
Right, we got a road trip.
Yeah.
Crystal Lagoon, Siesta Beach. Number 2 is Clearwater Beach, actually, which is also beautiful. I've been to Clearwater Beach.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous out there,
really nice spot. That's one of the closer ones to us here in Central Florida.
Yep.
And Destin, Florida, up in the Panhandle, also had one of the top spots, which is also beautiful beaches. They've got the white sugar sand up there.
Yeah.
Emerald waters. It's beautiful for sure. That was the top 3 spots, actually. So all Florida in the top 3 spots. And then, of course, Malibu ended up on the list. Who needs California beaches, right? Of course, there's a few Hawaii beaches on the list. South Padre Island. Then it comes back to Florida with the Florida Keys on the list, which, the Florida Keys aren't really like beachy islands, but they do have some beaches that they've made. I mean, the waters are beautiful, obviously.
Yeah.
But they've brought sand in to make beaches throughout the Florida Keys. So it is on the list. And then St. Petersburg Beach. That was the 5th one. St. Petersburg Beach as well. So just south of Clearwater, really.
Right.
Yeah, St. Pete.
Same ocean.
Yeah.
It's same ocean.
Almost one and the same. I would say St. Peter's, Clearwater, same area. But,
same area. Cool.
But again, beautiful beaches for sure. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Now we want to hear from you. You can reach us on our Moving to Florida show hotline by dropping a voicemail or texting us at 407-900-5859. Send up some topics so we can talk about. Or drop us a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Moving to Florida show. And for Twitter, our handle is at Moving to FL Show. If you'd like to connect with us, if you have any questions, or if you need a realtor in Florida, you can reach us at movingtofloridashow@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to the show if you like our content so that it would automatically download to your device and get you one step closer to moving to Florida.